You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WBZH Daily News Roundup for the Buzz of the North, 9:10 a.m. in Hayward.
For WBZH News, I'm James Kelly. Families interested in getting into fishing will have a chance in Hayward this weekend. Wild Rivers Conservancy plans to hold a family Learn to Fish event on Sunday from 10:30 a.m. to noon. The event will take place at the Lake Hayward boat landing near the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame. Participants can learn how to properly use different kinds of equipment and identify different types of fish, as well as learning all the necessary fishing rules and regulations. Participants over 16 years old will need to bring a valid fishing license. Aspirus St. Luke's abruptly announced the closure of a downtown Duluth clinic this week. According to organization officials, the Aspirus Clinic on East Superior Street will be closed and patients will start being seen at other locations on March 17th. They also say the organization is planning to retain all of the staff members at the clinic and transition them to other locations in the area. Organization officials say the move will improve their efficiency and collaboration, but did not provide an explanation as to how they decided to close the clinic. The Arizona man who led Barron County authorities on a 30-mile high-speed chase in September has been sentenced to prison. According to court documents, 28-year-old Raul Olia Velasquez entered guilty pleas to first-degree recklessly endangering safety and causing injury while operating under the influence. On Tuesday, he was sentenced to 7 years in prison and 4 years extended supervision. The chase began in Rice Lake when police responded to reports of two men acting belligerently and ended when Velasquez crashed into a ditch. Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasiewicz has denied a request to recuse herself from the case challenging the constitutionality of Act 10. Justice Protasiewicz had previously expressed her belief that Act 10 was unconstitutional when campaigning for the seat, but says she can act impartially in the case. Conservative Justice Brian Hagedorn did recuse himself from the case after helping former Governor Scott Walker write the law. The Dane County ruling found that Act 10 violated equal protection guarantees for public employees. A proposal to expand Medicaid coverage for postpartum mothers is once again being considered in the Wisconsin State Senate. The bill would give low-income mothers a full year of postpartum Medicaid coverage as opposed to the 60 days currently allowed. State senators heard testimony on the issues from medical providers on Wednesday. Only one other state lacks the expanded coverage, which has wide bipartisan support in Madison. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos opposes the bill, however, so it has never been put up for a vote in the Assembly. A pair of state Republicans are pushing for more nuclear power in Wisconsin. State Representative David Steffen and State Senator Julian Bradley each chair committees relating to energy and utilities and have introduced a resolution calling on the state legislature to publicly support nuclear power and fusion energy. They are also proposing a study to identify potential locations around the state that could become nuclear power plants. There is already one active nuclear power plant in Wisconsin located in Two Rivers. A massive fire destroyed parts of the Red Deer Lodge and Resort in the town of Spider Lake earlier this week. According to fire officials, crews from Spider Lake, Round Lake, Hayward, Bass Lake, and Cable responded to the blaze on Monday at around 1:30 p.m. It took about 6 hours to fully extinguish the fire, which resulted in the destruction of the lodge, bar, and living quarters at the site. Officials also say nobody was injured in the fire and 2 people managed to escape the building when the fire started. The building was deemed a total loss. A bank in downtown Rice Lake will be permanently closed in the coming months. According to U.S. bank officials, the location at the corner of Main and Eau Claire Streets now features a notice on the doors informing customers that its final day of operation will be April 24th. They say the organization is currently evaluating the consolidation of branches in certain markets, and there is another branch at Cedar Mall in Rice Lake. Officials say there will be no interruption in service prior to the closure, and client accounts will not be affected. The Wisconsin Office of Children's Mental Health released a new set of recommendations this week calling for more mental health support on college campuses. The new recommendations would include schools being more proactive in identifying if students need support with routine screenings and new staff training, as well as improving peer support systems. Wisconsin has seen a dramatic increase in the number of kids struggling with mental health in recent years, which has also been cited as a common reason students drop out of school. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is selling 2-year-old oak seedlings ready for planting to residents. According to a press release, the seedlings were harvested in 2022 thanks to a strong acorn crop. There are 4 species available for purchase: swamp white oak, bur oak, white oak, and red oak. Officials say the oak tree seedlings are perfect for residents looking to reforest a property, enhance a habitat, or start an oak grove. More information on how to purchase the seedlings can be found on the DNR's website. For WBZH News, I'm James Kelly.
The Bucks pull out the win in Minnesota. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. It went down to the wire. The Bucks holding on to win 103-101 over the Timberwolves. Doc Rivers challenged the Bucks defensively before the game to hold Minnesota to 100 points or less.
You know, it's funny. We set a goal and we didn't get it, but our goal was to hold them under 100. And they got 101. That's why the guys were like, no, that was a goal for us going into the game. We knew scoring, but the offense that we had out would be rough. But we thought we could really win the game with a defensive effort, and that's what we did.
So Milwaukee heads into the All-Star break in 5th place in the East with a record of 29-24. Baseball. The Brewers signing Tampa Bay Rays lefty Tyler Alexander to a 1-year deal worth over $1 million. Meanwhile, Brandon Woodruff says he is on schedule to return from Tommy John surgery.
Listen, I'm healthy. I'm coming into camp healthy. I just have to take different steps than everybody else. And when I'm ready, I'll be ready.
That's Brewers pitcher Brandon Woodruff. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. A couple big hitters are headed to the silver screen this weekend and just in time for Valentine's Day. For all you Marvel fans, you've got Captain America: Brave New World to look forward to. The film stars Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, who becomes the new Captain America. After meeting the new president, he finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must get to the bottom of it. How's that for details? Critics' reviews are unavailable at this point for the film, so tread cautiously. And everyone's favorite raincoat-wearing bear is back as Paddington in Peru hits theaters this Friday. In the third installment of the wildly popular franchise, Paddington finds out that his aunt, who lives in a home for retired bears, has gone missing. Like the other 2 films, critics love this movie as it is pulling mid-90s on Rotten Tomatoes. That's almost too fresh. If those 2 films don't tickle your fancy, you can check out local theaters for 3 new releases of Harry Potter films. It's just easier to re-release films than make new ones, folks. Let's go to the movies. Although it's been nominated for Best Picture and several other awards, there was a point when Timothée Chalamet thought A Complete Unknown would never get made. The Bob Dylan biopic was announced by director James Mangold in 2020, but was shelved due to COVID. It eventually found its way to the big screen 5 years later. Chalamet said that gave him time to learn how to play the guitar and to sing. That might just be what puts him over the top in the race for Best Actor as well. Stand by. In an age where it can take years just for a TV show to get renewed, that is not the case with the show Reacher. The popular streamer returns for Season 3 February 20th, barely 1 year from the debut of Season 2. Reacher fans appreciate the aggressive shooting schedule, I'm sure. 8 new episodes will drop one at a time, sigh, on Amazon Prime. I saw the trailer for the new season the other night, and somehow they found a man bigger than Alan Ritchson to be his nemesis. Hope it's better than Season 2. Super Bowl 59 set a record in ad sale revenues. According to Variety, Fox Corporation pulled in more than $800 million between all the Super Bowl viewing platforms. The asking price for ads was $7 million for 30 seconds, and that went up to $8 million as the game got closer. Fox reports that this is about $150 million more than 2023, the last time they covered the Super Bowl. The game was also the most watched and streamed Super Bowl ever, with over 14 million viewers watching the game on Tubi. Thank goodness Netflix had nothing to do with this broadcast. Presenters for this year's Oscar broadcast have been announced. In addition to last year's winners, Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Emma Stone, and Da'Vine Joy Randolph, 2025 presenters will also include Halle Berry, Penelope Cruz, Scarlett Johansson, Elle Fanning, John Lithgow, and Amy Poehler. This year's ceremony will be hosted by Conan O'Brien and takes place March 2nd. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It is cold out there this morning, and it's not really going to warm up much today. Partly cloudy, 7 above this afternoon. Tonight, 11 below. Tomorrow, snow will develop in the afternoon and continue into tomorrow night. 1 to 2 inches of accumulation possible by Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently 18 below.
That's your WBZH Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at buzzofthenorth.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.